Yep. Okay, so I've got I think the left rear fender in motion now. I've done some powder, some guide coat. I will be doing the wet sanding here in just a few minutes. That's a old bottle full of water. And I think, if I were a betting man, I'd say that this is a low... Oh yeah, it's a low spot, I can feel that. There's a low spot. And again, if you're new to this kind of a thing, I know I kind of wiped it out, but you're looking for the discoloration. And this will be borne out pretty easily when I start sanding. These are just application marks, so not necessarily those spots. Let's see what else. Alright, some orange peel here. A dimply look like that. I see that a lot in new car paint, especially bad car paint. And you know, I've got a buddy's Jeep, a friend of mine's Jeep that looks just like this. Poor prep work is what this is. This will sand down very easily. There's more of that the guide coat, and I don't see any huge oh my goodnesses. So I will get right to it. For anybody who's not wet sanded, you just spray it on and start your sanding. Some people use buckets with a little bit of soap in there for lubricant. That guide coat specifically calls out don't use soap, so I've never used soap anyway. So I'm going to start off with, let's see what this is, 180 I think. 180 grit, and when I get it smoothed out, I will move up to 320 and then 600. And barring any sanding throughs, this will be ready for paint directly after that. You'll notice I've done no attempt at repair on the metal in this, mainly because it's going to get covered up by the sill plate cover, so I'm not awfully worried about how that looks. Not awfully worried. If I have to, I'll do some repairs, but no, fuck it, I'm not going to. Let's get it covered up. So, there we go. Alright, this is probably 5 minutes worth of sanding, and you can see, again, the discoloration or low spots. There, I can feel that. I kind of feel that. That's a low spot, but I think that's not either. Okay, again, this orange peel here will sand out pretty easily. I'm just kind of doing a quick, here's where I'm at with sanding and showing how quickly this stuff goes down, and what wet sanding does for you. There are people who don't like wet sanding. There are people who prefer dry sanding. I couldn't care which process is used. I prefer wet sanding because my paper lasts longer and it doesn't get gummed up with crap. And that's that. I'm looking at my door too. I did that. I redid that before I started on this. It's a wet spot, and you can see where I've got some places to repaint, or reprime, but not bad. A lot of the low spots came out. It'll dry out, and I'll get going on that one. But I'll spend the rest of my evening on this one here. Okay, I've got about 2 hours into it, and I'm pretty much done. I've identified a spot that I'm going to need to refill, rebondo, which is right here. Right there, and that's awfully low. There's another one right there, and that one's not so bad, but I'm going to bondo that up anyway. So what you're looking at is black epoxy primer and a little bit of bare metal. I may just paint that with a rattle can so it doesn't flash rust, and then sand it down when I start doing the bondo. I'll probably put the bondo on there tonight and let it cure overnight, and make that the first thing I do in the morning, tomorrow afternoon after work. Oh yeah, there's the other one. So after this one, I'm going to do that one. Obviously that's the right rear one, and it's on the right part of the my chassis there. And then, assuming that also takes about 2 hours, like this one did, 2.5 to 3 after I do a little bit of rework there. Those fuckers are going to be a couple nights to get done. And then the body, oh jeez. I'm not going to put a whole lot of effort into the fender areas. I've got a run there that I want to even out. But even that I may not do, because once I paint this, I'm not going to put any effort into painting that those areas, both front and back, because I frankly intend to cover it with what do you call it, undercoating. So just the top surfaces here. And there and there. I can probably wet sand the entire trunk outer portion in an evening. Oh god, I got the door, the trunk lid and the hood still left. Yeah, wow. One evening's worth. Another evening's worth. There's 2, 4, 6, 8. Probably an evening on the inner portion of the engine bay, so there's 9. And the trunk itself, 10. And an evening's worth for me is home by 5, home by 4:30, changed out into grungies, and then working by 5, done by 7:30 to 8. So roughly 3 hours per stint, not including weekends and long hauls like that. So I've got 27 hours ish of wet sanding. I've got to obviously reprime that. But that'll, once I resand that, these things here, I've evened all the surfaces out. I've made them, more or less, in most cases anyway, even. So let's go another half an hour to smooth out what's left. 35 hours ish, not knowing how bad I did a job on these things, but yeah, I'm guessing 35 hours of work ahead of me. I might save the body and the trunk until a weekend. I don't have any plans for the weekend, I don't think. And get up early and finish late, and yeah, I may just do it that way. So I'm just trying to say that the actual paint job is within sight, I think. Yeah, well, there we go. That's Louie. Louie. Hi, Louie.